All right, here we go. Starting a little bit late, just cause. Because that's the way things happen sometimes. I have moved my computer, and now I'm just around the corner from where I was. And this is probably where it's going to live, although right behind me on this wall, that wall, I have another monitor. I'm going to mount the monitor there, and then above that we'll be able to put this camera. So our background will be sort of, well, not really this shot. It'll be kind of the opposite of what we had before. I think that will work, and then during downtime when we're not doing streams or something, that monitor will just be displaying gobbledygook that'll look kind of nice from the other side of the counter, because you'll be able to see it from the let me move me. Nope, that's not the one I want to move. I want to move this one. This counter right here, I had to move the computer because that's where the espresso machine and all that other crap is going. And you'll be able to see the streaming monitor from that area. So if you're standing at that counter looking that way, if you're standing over here and you're looking that way, the monitor will be on. I don't know, but it doesn't make any difference. This is how it is for right now, and I'm going to shrink me down, and I'll just sit right on this counter right here. That'll be perfect. Yeah. So I did, since I moved the computer here. I'm facing, like right now, I'm in the back room, kind of on the edge of the back room. I can show you. Camera Safari Adventure Time. I can show you. Well, I'll show later. I'm sort of facing a refrigerator because I'm sort of in the back room. But since I moved the computer where it is, I was able to get a camera up over the washrooms, and so that's what this scene is. This is over one of the washroom doors, and it looks down into the little video game area, which is kind of cool. That worked out. I can actually, let me move me. It will shrink me down a little bit, and I'll put me right about here. That's probably pretty good. And then the original one that we had setting up here, which just kind of looks down Pinball Alley. Yeah, so pretty good. We got last couple days ago we got the balls and the Skittles for bar billiards, and this is the first time in the last, what day was that we got that in? We got those in Wednesday. So Wednesday the 1st, we got bar billiards, balls, and Skittles up and going. Wednesday and Thursday, pretty much non-stop. Darts, bar billiards, and bumper pool were always busy. When we had people in here, always. It was pretty cool, actually. JRSCO1, hello, how are you? Sophia's here. She's right over there. And, oh, here she comes. There she is.
Hello.
But yeah, so the billiards games were like crazy popular. People playing. This is the first time that we haven't had people. First time that we don't have people currently playing them. Although some people are just playing bumper pool earlier. The little kids that are in here decided that it would be fun to throw the bar billiard balls around. So right now I've taken all of the billiard balls away from the tables just to stop the temptation of how that goes. I've been really enjoying having bar billiards here. It's a really kind of a fun, basic little game. Not hard. Rules are a little daunting when you first get told how to play it, and you're like, how am I going to remember all of this? My brain is only so big. But once you play a few rounds, you get it. There's 4 ways to foul. That kid with a hat on. Is it cold in there? No, it is not cold in here. It is currently 22 degrees. Yep, 22 degrees. But it is snowing outside. So, let's go look. Let's go on adventure time. Because it was actually snowing pretty good. It didn't look to be sticking. Here we go. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking at. I'm in the back room. We're gonna put the monitor here, and the little camera will be here. So our backdrop will basically be that. Well, actually, we'll have the espresso machine right there where the pachinko is. So our backdrop is going to be the espresso machine. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not even. Here we go. Sorry. Let's try that again. The monitor will be here. The camera will be here. This will be our backdrop. We'll be able to have a wireless. What are you doing? Is it stuck again?
Yeah.
Hold on just 1 second. Lebowski is having an issue. Stuck again?
Stuck again, yeah.
Where did it?
We did get the bowl down there twice, so.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna open it up. It did this earlier today, and I was trying to figure out. It's like a ball is getting stuck and it's not being sensed.
want to do this optical switch test?
No, it's a different area. And I knew it was there.
Okay. I think Seven's gonna clean the glass. So here's a close-up of Big Lebowski. If you haven't seen the playfield before. A starry apron here. This is fabulous. The starry apron. Should the starry apron be lit up right now?
It should be.
But it's not.
Vacuum it done. I'm gonna try something here.
So we got the starry apron working again. Did you?
Oh.
Alright, I'm gonna come around here.
Registered. Check out. Okay. Good.
It didn't roll all the way back there.
No, but that it may have. That's.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna worry about
What
that.
happens when you
Okay. Maybe you have to go up the ramp for it to register.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't know that it.
There you go. Watch him smash the car.
see what happens, Larry?
There it goes.
Commit your final total reads to the bosom of the Pacific Ocean. Good night, sweet prince. Beautiful.
All right, I think it's working.
Just some wires loose. It's a vibrating machine, so that can happen. So Seven's trying very hard not to get any fingerprints on this freshly cleaned glass. So we put it the other way in. And then we clean the top side. I personally do not like touching the glass and taking it off and on. It just is scary to me. One of the cool things about the Big Lebowski is it's got one of the push the start button, hold it down, and it shuts off the game. So if someone comes over and starts a 4-player game and then walks away, we can reset it. Hey, it recognized and spat it out.
Yeah, it does that.
So there you go. A little repair, impromptu repair on Big Lebowski.
All right, I think we found it.
All right. Got some folks doing Terminator over here. I hope this was a Oh, good. It was Camera Safari the whole time. Ooh, wormhole. You know how much I hate it. Ooh. All right. Where are we? Pinball Video Arcade. Iron. Oh, we're still on Camera Safari. We don't want that. 4 cameras? Pinball? I don't know how to reset it. Okay. Here's your phone back.
Thanks. What were we
right.
doing? Are we on Adventure Time still?
No, I just switched it back.
Oh.
We were on Adventure Time the whole time there. And Spike is here as well.
We were gonna go and see if it's snowing. Here we go. Got rid of our drink fridge today. And we have our new fridge all in and running. Are we snowing?
All right.
A little snow. Okay. They're expecting a big snowstorm on Sunday night and Monday. So that'll be fun. We're closed. Yeah, and this is all cleaned out, so the espresso machine is going to go here. I have a big piece of glass that's going to go here. I think it's long enough. Back here, right now. It'll go in front of the espresso machine. It'll go right here. And then so we'll have espresso, we'll have the grinders and stuff. And then the fridge will be working at that point. There won't be anything there really that I know of. We might I might get another one of those, but we'll put it there. Oh, we have a sink. That's right. There'll be a sink here. There or here, I don't know. Probably close to the wall will be better. I'll bring the sink in and the espresso machine, and we'll kind of figure it out. I think
Isn't the little sink already here?
sink is going to have to go here because if it's not there, then I'll have to figure out where I'm going to put the fridge. We'll have to move the fridge down farther and put the sink in one of those cupboards and slide that down. I think the sink here is fine.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. And then we also are going to do decaf. So we'll have our espresso machine, our grinders, our little espresso machine, and then depending how popular straight up coffee is, we
Yeah.
might do Americanos
We'll
or...
see if we do. We
Yeah.
have this. It's a little dark, but we have this espresso machine back
Are
here.
you heading out?
Yeah.
All right, well, if you decide you can't sleep, we're open until 11, so you
Chip
can always
grinder,
come back
we
in.
have this espresso machine.
Awesome. You
which we
guys
might
have a lovely
dedicate to
evening.
Just decaf. It does okay. I want to see if I can tweak it a little bit though. I would like to have it come out a little bit harder, a little bit more pressure on it. I might have to take the head apart, but we'll see. It's not a bad machine. Yeah, and then we'll get our sinks going and everything, and yeah. Okay. Turn this nonsense off. Yeah, so that's basically what that was about. We'll see if Lebowski has a problem. I know Jacob was here New Year's Eve, maybe? Day before New Year's Eve? One of those days he was here, and he had, Lebowski was really acting up. And so he kind of took it apart and opened it up, and he kind of went through the whole thing and kind of fixed what he could fix and stuff. But I think he missed that one, that one solenoid that kicks out of the scoop. That was pretty loose. And I think that was related, that it, or it could have been the optical sensor, because that part of the scoop was loose too. So we'll see if that does it. Spike says Happy New Year. JRSC, Happy New Year. Has any of you accidentally shattered, cracked a top glass? I've been lucky. I haven't yet. I'm pretty careful with them. I think almost every single glass in here is tempered, so you just have to be careful when you handle the edges. we have a cement floor here. So the other location had a carpeted floor, which was awesome. Sort of. The floor was kind of gross, but the carpet was dead and whatever. But nice thing about it was you could set glass on it, and there wasn't a risk of shattering. Here we have the epoxy cement, so you actually could set the glass down and hit it just right and blow the thing up. I'm going to get something that we can put on the cart that when you have to take the glass off, like a little, almost like a welcome mat would work. You just set it down between the machines. You can set the glass down in there, do your thing, and then pick up your little mat and take it away. I just haven't done it yet. And luckily, everything I've had to work on so far, there's a carpet back by the what? No. Okay. I gotta play a different game. I took both the. No, I would rather them not. I warned them several times about the other one, and they still ended up on the floor. So.
Those were different kids, though.
No, those kids.
Oh.
Yeah. Or they didn't end up on the floor, but they started tossing them.
Oh, that's right.
So one of the things about having the billiard tables here is, oh, there's Reset. Hiya, Reset. The kids can get a little crazy with the cue sticks and the balls. So it was actually kind of funny. There was some kids in here that they were not shooting. They were using the sticks to like whack the balls around, like whack, whack. And I told them no, and they continued to do it, and I ended up breaking up a sword fight, a cue stick sword fight. So I basically punted them off, and I said, you guys can't touch this shit anymore, go away. And then a couple days ago, we had a family had come in. There was an older guy who I think was like what do you call it, where someone from out of country comes and stays with you while they go to school, whatever the hell that's called. Because I think he was like Korean or something. And then the family was, they were just island folk type. And the kid was probably 8. So dad was playing darts. And this other guy, the Korean guy, decided that whenever he needed to hit the ball, any billiard ball, he had to do it with as much force as possible, right? So he threw the ball off the table several times doing that. And then the kid, he was just like hitting the ball with the cue stick, not properly, and I went over and I showed him how to do it.
The only one that costs money.
Hitting it again, and the other guy, like, I don't know, I told him 3 times, like, you guys need to settle down and quit fucking around with the table, because I don't want someone ripping my felt, right? I don't want the balls to go flying off and be super dented or cracked or whatever, and it's just, play it right or fuck off. That's kind of how it is, right? So I went over and told them a 3rd time or 4th time or something and cut them off. I said, all right, you guys have to stop playing. This was on the bumper pool table. You guys have to stop playing this. And the kid, like the dad was there the whole time. Each time I told them to settle down, he was standing right there. He didn't do anything about it. And so when I told him he had to get away from the table, the younger kid, the older guy, like, apologized. The dad said, "Oh, I didn't see what they were doing," and then the younger kid pouted. He got like really pissy, and then they were gone in like 5 minutes. They packed up and left. I'm fine with that. I don't want. We ordered a brand new bumper pool table balls, because the ones we have are kind of dinged up. Once we get those in, I'll let them, like kids, play with the bumper pool, the shitty ones. They can play with those as long as they don't wreck my felt. That'll be fine. The bar billiard balls, because the kids that are in here now are getting a little excited with them and started throwing them on the table. I took them away. And they just don't get to play with those. I've been hiding the Skittles because they're little wood things. Get one. Hold on. They look like this. So it's just a little lathed piece of wood with a metal bar to it. The metal bar is designed so that it won't pop into the hole. And get lost within the machine, because it is a machine. Like, it's got a timer and a bunch of other crap in there. So I've been, when the kids are in, I've been hiding these, and if they're like under 10 or something like that, and they want to know how to play it, I just say you just hit the ball to the hole and just add up your score, and they're like, adding, no, and then they usually go somewhere else. JRSC says you should put a huge red button somewhere in the arcade that instantly does something like just plays a clip of music from the speaker system with a notice, do not press, just to see what happens. So I do have, back at the other location, we had the disco booth, and there was a wireless switch. So it was just a switch that you just double sticky tape to the wall. When you push it, it activates just an outlet. It's just a wireless outlet kind of thing. So I actually put a sticker on that, a label on it that said disco party on and off. And when you turned it on, it turned on all the lights. It caused the disco ball to start rotating, all of that. And when you turned it off, all that stuff would shut down. Because I thought it'd be funny to have, like, you know, oh, it's disco party time. Hit the button, things go. But it was, I mounted it higher so that little kids couldn't poke at it. And then it just sort of got ignored. Like, yeah. So I could actually do, I've got that button. It looks like one of the square designer light switch kind of things. Looks just like that. I could put that somewhere in here, and when you press it, it turns something on. Like I have a flashing yellow strobe light. I can have it turn that on, and maybe some little audio thing that goes weep weep weep, or I don't know, something like that. I will put it somewhere that says do not press. Under no circumstances press. That would work. Okay, let's get it back. So one thing that you may actually see me, whilst I'm sitting here, you may see me go, wah! Because the edge of I've got a rolling chair, and the edge of this floor, it goes down about 4 inches, and the chair wheel is like this far away from the edge.
Hello. How's it going?
Yeah, more people in. Hold, please.
All right. Come to 2875.
No.
There you go. All right. And one for you? Excellent.
Wow, is it 9 o'clock already?
Yeah, I know.
Wow, when did that happen?
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah, yeah.
75, we'll give you a stamp as well. Enjoy. If you have any questions or if you want to play bar billiards or anything, let us know.
All right, more people. How cold is Canada today? We were just outside. Wait, oh, there's Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. We were just outside. We have a little snow on the ground. It was snowing today. Let's look at what the weather is. There we go. We have a special weather statement. That's for Sunday, Monday. They're expecting what 5 to 15 centimeters of snow Sunday into Monday, so Sunday night. Good thing that Sunday night I am gonna be out of here early. Oops. So it is -6 right now with a chance of flurries. I don't know what that is in freedom units. You will have to do your own mathematics. They said something about 2 inches of ice. Where are you located? That's a lot of ice. That's 2 inches of ice is a brutal mess. First ice storm I was ever in. I lived in Portland, and it was gorgeous. In Portland proper, there's a bunch of trees that all lose their leaves, like oak trees and stuff. They all lose their leaves in the winter, and there was like a half an inch of ice coated throughout all the trees. And I had never seen anything like it before. And just walking around outside, it looked like everything was made of glass. It was so cool. And then, branches started falling off and the power started going out. And you couldn't drive anywhere. And yeah, it was pretty bad. But it looks really nice. Kentucky. Okay. What in hogshead cheese is a centimeter? It's 10 millimeters. Yeah. I am so excited about getting my coffee in. So that's something next week. The holidays are over, and we'll be closed. We've been open 2 weeks in a row now, 7 days a week, 14 days in a row. But next week things should probably settle down. We'll see. Wednesday, I'm gonna bring in the espresso machine and start that whole process and start getting that all set up. I have ordered the beans. So there's a company in Vancouver that was just a block or two away from where I used to work, and I used to go there for espresso on my lunch break or at other times. And their beans are like nothing you've ever had before. It's called Cafe Artigiano. Started by an Italian company or Italian family, came I think to Vancouver, decided to start espresso. They decided to roast their own, but the beans are so unique that if you ever, like just walking into their cafe, all the cafes have this really nice aroma to them, and it's from the beans, and it's just amazing stuff. And I honestly think, because it's one of those things, you have their coffee, and if you like espresso and that kind of, you have their coffee, you remember their coffee. It's has almost like a hint of sweetness to it. It's really hard to describe. So good though. And I still crave it. Like I have a coffee and I'm just like, oh, I wish I could get their beans. So contacted them a couple of times. We worked out a thing. Hello.
Hello.
So we're gonna get their beans in. We're a wholesaler now for them. We have 25 pounds coming our way, and it is cheap enough that I will actually be able to sell like just beans. So we'll have them for the espresso machine, but we'll be able to have bags of beans out for people to buy. I think we're gonna do really well because it's nothing like anything else on the island. There's a couple of roasters on the island and they're fine, but
You don't have very far you can go.
don't push me off.
I'm trying not to.
I'm going to expand my floor. I'm going to go over another foot or so, and that section will have a little bit of carpet on it, so the chair will actually get caught on. But yeah.
Paint this green so that you can have a fun screen to play with. Oh, someone's trying to play
I might
Palooka.
put a little green behind here. Actually, well, no, because
So
I'm only
this
gonna be
one
here
is a little bit
temporarily.
different. It's
Next
our
week
oldest
I'll have
game
the
in
monitor
here,
mounted over
and
there.
you have to do a little extra
Next
work
screen,
because it's
we'll
not
be
automatic.
facing the other way.
So
I'll have the arcade
this
espresso behind
and
me.
it scoops
So
all from below, and you have
I'll have to think about that though, because we're going to be pulling shots here all night. Like we'll close the espresso machine a few minutes before we close, right? So it actually, I just thought of something.
What?
If that's where the streaming monitor and camera are,
Oh, right. We're gonna flip it around.
and we'll point you this way, and we're basically at this level, and we'll be pulling shots at the espresso machine. If we're doing a live stream, it'll be basically of our asses.
Oh yeah. Oh well. I'm sure somebody out there would like it. Hey Reset, how are you?
We'll do the maybe I could do something where if I have to get away from the camera, I could set a little thing on it so it automatically zooms in to like the espresso so you just watch shots.
Well, you could also put one like you've got the one up there. You could add a camera right here, so it's like pointing there.
I just change the scene. That's all.
Yeah.
All I have to do.
Ask stream.
Mario Brothers beans.
There's a ton of Mario Brother candy that we want to get in, but sometimes it's really hard to find the distributors that do them. And we'll find them other places, but... Oh, someone's running over. Looks like they got monies.
They got the craving for the candy.
Oh, you gonna get some too? All right, I think that comes
That's
to
nutmeg and beaver
$2.25.
tail you taste.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited about getting that in. So there's one
$2.25,
roaster
and
in
you
town.
get 75 cents back. We do
receiver
have some
coffee.
25-cent
I think
candy
I've talked
too.
about this on live stream
So-
before. They have a handful.
Oh, I'll
couple
show you over
locations.
here.
They roast and then they sell their
So
roast
let's see.
to other
This
coffee shops.
is the Airheads are
And there's
50
a couple
cents.
other coffee shops.
The
It
Pixie
seems like
sticks
all
up
the
here are
coffee
2
tastes the
for
same,
25
so I think
cents.
Receiver is actually
These
supplying
ones are
a lot of
25
coffee shops with
cents.
beans.
And
And
these
the
ones are
coffee is
25
fine,
cents.
But it's nothing that like I'm a real coffee snob. Like I
Those are 55. I think the fizz is
to me it always
50
tastes like,
cents, maybe $1.
especially at Receiver.
These ones are 50
It
cents.
seems like
the gum
it's all
here
fine.
is
It's
25
not bitter.
cents.
It's
so
not
there's
overpowering. It's just sort of
yeah, these ones it's gum
there.
from
Like, I
Mexico.
think
We
that
try and bring all
the
sorts of stuff
beans
in.
are probably fine if they just kind of tweak
Yeah,
their
so you
machines
can,
a little bit,
mix and
dialed
match.
in the machines a little bit more to get a little bit better.
Yeah,
pull
you
out
got
of it.
75 cents, so
don't
you
know.
can buy 3 25-cent candies. They each have different flavors on them.
I'm watching
So
them.
like this one is cinnamon,
up
you
there.
can see. This one's
So
banana.
I'm looking at the people playing Lebowski.
Apple.
Okay, they figured it
Tutti
out.
fruity. This one is violet flavor. This one's grape.
Risa says, I'm looking for a
think
publicly
that one's
traded company
spearmint.
that processes bison. Oh crap, that was meant for the other stream. I
Sorry,
can process your bison meat for you.
sorry, we were double chatting because I was talking to the girl. Perfect. Okay, let me
We're
scan
still
these.
double chatting. She still has the mic on.
Excellent. Enjoy all of your different flavors.
Whoa. I almost bit it there.
Nope, that was wrong.
I was 1 centimeter away from a very comical ending to my head. Sorry, 7-2 conversations at the moment. Well, that's all right, because we were doing the same thing, because she was talking on my, and I was talking, so four different conversations all happening at once. Very good. Very good.
You showed them that the fridge was gone, but did you tell them about what happened?
So we listed the fridge $800 on Facebook. It sat there for a week or so or whatever. And then yesterday, Sophia got a message asking about it. One thing led to another. They're coming over here. I was packed. I don't know what happened yesterday, but we had like 25 teens in here, all having a great time, having a fun time. The majority of them kind of seem to know each other, I think. So I don't know if it was just sort of this planned outing, or I have no idea. So we were swamped with a bunch of people in here. These two women came in to look at the fridge. They were Chinese, and one of them had a very, very thick accent. And so right away I knew that just socially and culturally, she's gonna haggle with me, right? She's gonna lowball me. We're gonna go back and forth. She's gonna tell me the fridge is crap. And that's why she's not going to pay very much for it. Like, just, I knew the game. So I wasn't going to play it. So we had it for $800. And she's like, do you know the age of the fridge? And it's an older fridge. Like, it's probably from the 90s, maybe 2000s. We bought it used. And we used it for about a year, and then something with the compressor blew up on it. We hired a fridge company to come over, and they refurbished it and fixed it all up. So it's got a whole lot more life left in it.
It was actually refurbished much more recently than a year ago. A year after we got it, it broke, and then they had a temp part. Well, they did the part that they needed, and then that temp part broke, and then we called them and like, weren't you going to order us a permanent part? And they're like, oh yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, we have it.
And so they fixed it maybe 6 months ago, and it wasn't too long ago. So it's in like really tip-top condition.
Yeah, it works perfectly fine and whatever. So they're like 600, and I said 800, and they said 600, and I said 800, and I'm just like smiling the whole time. I just thought the whole thing was silly. What's the lowest you'll go? And I said, I'd do 750. And they're like, oh no, we can't do 750. And they're like, we have to, we can't move it ourselves, so we're gonna have to hire someone in a truck to move it. And so it's gonna be more expensive for us. I'm like, why is that my problem? It's like, if I don't have a car and I have to go to the grocery store, and I forget exactly how I said it, but if I have to go to the grocery store and get a frozen pizza, I'm not gonna ask the grocery store to reduce the cost because I had to take a cab there. That's ridiculous, right? And they're like, ugh. So they tried to pull that one for a while, and I just rolled my eyes, and I kept walking away from them. And so they'd say, we'll give you 600, and I'm like 750. And then I'd start walking away. I'm like, you guys talk about it. I've got to go take care of these customers. I don't know how many times I did that with them. Yeah, the funny thing is, I actually probably would have been fine taking 600. We would have been fine taking 700 or whatever. I was just, at this point, I was just having fun with them. So a little bit more back and forth. They said if we went to 700, they would pay me cash right then and come pick it up tomorrow. I said, I'll tell you what, I would do 725. At one point they were like, we need to get the truck and everything, and hire someone to come and take it, so it's going to be much more expensive. I said, well, where are you going? They said Cornwall, which is like 3 minutes away.
So Seven's like, I'll deliver it for $800.
I said, for $800, I'll take it. I'll bring it to you. No, you can't do that.
They kind of blew their little like haggling out of the water when Seven offered that because they,
So I went back to them, said at the end of the day, I said $725, and they were actually getting ready to walk out the door. They weren't going to pay any more than $700. So I grabbed my phone, I looked at it, I said, oh, my partner just said, so $700 is fine. We'll do $700. That's fine. But you got to get it tomorrow. And so it all worked out. So they came by, they left me $200 as a deposit, and then they came by today
and they were late.
Yeah, but they had a truck.
A pickup truck.
Pickup truck. So this is, and it was one of those pickup trucks that's like not a real pickup truck, and like, I don't know, like a 150 or something like that, where it's only got like a 3-foot bed on it, like you can't haul anything in it. It's truck by name only kind of thing. It's an SUV with an elongated trunk, is basically what it is. So they came with that. And if I were to move a single door fridge of that nature, which is
that we have moved,
it's about 6.5 feet tall. It's 28 inches deep, 28 inches wide, somewhere around there. And I were hauling it in any sort of truck. I would take it to the truck, I would lay it on its back, I would slide it to the bed, I'd strap it in, and I couldn't close the trunk door or the hatch. I would strap it, call it a day. That's not what they did. They got it up onto the truck bed, and then they stood it upright. So I have a picture.
I have a picture too.
This is how they decided to load it, like that, for whatever reason. And then they ran straps over the top, right?
Let me see that one. Yeah, so there's, hold on, let's see if I have.
I just took one that looks like yours.
Yeah, so you can see the strap over the top of the fridge. And then you can see one on the hinge of the fridge, which I
on the door.
Imagine.
So the door would be flopping over, like.
Did you charge them extra VAT? No, we didn't charge them anything. But yeah, it was. And then we got busy, and we both looked away we were both busy when they pulled away, and so we didn't get to see if it actually went wobbly when it. So yeah.
So we had at the time. We had these two grandparents came in, brought their grandkids in. And so the grandparents, instead of paying for both of them to come in and be in here because they weren't super interested in both playing for 2 hours, one of them, we let them pay for one adult and 2 kids, and then they took turns coming in and out of the arcade. So at the time, Grandma was sitting out at Kid Nikki out there. She's just on her phone doing her thing, and she watched them come in and take the fridge out and do all this. And at one point, we were standing behind the counter, and Sophia said something like, "Are you going to go out there and tell them, like, and help them with this?" And I went, "No," and Grandma starts cracking up.
No, that truck was theirs. They had borrowed it from a friend or something.
No, that was husband.
Yeah.
That came together. They were just using that. We need to hire a truck and someone to move it. That was just their haggling thing, and I knew it. It was all right.
Spike says, "Well, you really should transport them standing up." I mean, best case scenario, but we told them when, if you put them on their side, wait 24 hours before you plug it in. We always do, because we've transported 3 fridges on their side now multiple times.
And with those, to be honest, the entire refrigeration unit is on top of the thing.
Or the bottom.
Well, on this one, the entire refrigeration unit is on top of the thing, and the compressor is here. There's a little short little pipe that goes into your condenser and everything else, and so it's really, there's only like a couple feet of pipe. So the Freon or whatever is in the refrigerant in there doesn't have very far to go. It's not like it's going all the way down like the back of a normal refrigerator. It's all just kind of on the top. So if you lay that one down and then stand it back up, within 24 hours everything is settled.
You know what would be funny?
And I told them that, and they said that they weren't even going to turn it on until like May. They're buying it. They've got something going on in May, so it's just going to be sitting in a garage or something somewhere.
I was thinking, I wonder if it was like, it would have been funny if that was actually the new owners of the Chinese restaurant in Cornwall.
Oh.
But they're already open, right? So
Yeah.
who needs a fridge in Canada anyways? You
Not
know,
right now.
funny, when I lived, we lived on the West Coast, it didn't get too cold, but when I lived in China, in northern China, lots of people stored food on their balconies in the winter, and one apartment that I lived in didn't actually have a fridge. So when I lived there, I just stored everything on the balcony. In the winter and the fall, winter, and spring, essentially. And then in the summer, I just would buy fresh fruit and vegetables whenever. So I have actually done that. Stored things outside.
There was, sorry, I'm just going to make another coffee, but when I lived in Washington, a bunch of us went up near Mount Rainier for a little overnight. There was a hot springs up there, and it was kind of a popular place where people go. And they had there was a cabin up there that was, I think it was owned by Washington State Parks, but it was sort of like this cabin, you could use it, hikers and people could use it. It was just available. And we were up there in the early spring, maybe later spring. All the snow was gone at that point. But the funny thing that the cabin had, so that there was the cabin, and right behind the cabin, the back of the cabin, this hill went up quite a distance. So in the winter, the snow would come down and it would basically go from the top of this cabin to the hill, and this whole back of the cabin would be covered in snow. On the back of the cabin, there was a door that opened up, like a cabinet door that opened up, and you just opened up the cabinet door and it was just the snow. So the idea would be that you
Build your own fridge.
You would open this door, you would hollow out the snow there, and then you could keep all your stuff right there on the snow. It was kind of cool.
That's neat.
All right, I'm gonna make a coffee.
It didn't snow too much where I lived. I lived in Harbin in China. They have a big ice sculpture festival he's done grinding. It didn't snow too much there. But it was just cold. You know, when you see those like tundra videos of Mongolia and things, it doesn't seem like there's as much snow as there is. It's just like really, really cold. So it was snowy and everything. And the river, can't remember the name of the river, but it flowed through the city. They actually had upriver in 2005 when I was living there. They had a big, one of their chemical plants there exploded in the fall of 2005 upriver from us, and the river traveled into Russia, and it leaked benzene into the river. I think it was something that was carcinogenic, and they lied to everybody and said they had a sense that an earthquake was coming, so they preemptively have shut off all of the water to the city. And so all my friends were telling me like, oh, we're canceling school because there's going to be no water in the schools and all this sort of stuff. But the Canadian Embassy knew what was going on, and they reported to the Canadians that there was a chemical plant explosion, or an explosion at some plant, and it all got leaked into the water and into the river. And but we got 4 days off, or like a week off work. So my friend and I bought some train tickets down to Beijing since there wasn't going to be water for like 10 days. But it was right at the time that the river was freezing, and so the issue was people were afraid that and that was where we got our drinking water from, is that the benzene or the chemical was going to get frozen into the ice. And then even though the slick had moved under the ice, it would still be in the ice in the spring as it refroze. Russia was pissed, let me tell you. We heard about that they were really angry that they didn't let them know about this problem. Anyways, that's my story.
You know what we should do? Are you done working?
Not really.
Oh.
But yeah.
We should play a game of bar billiards
Yeah, we could do that.
and just point the we'll point the camera safari camera at it. We'll play a game and
I mean, I could just start work super extra early on Monday. Yeah, it's fine. I could, yeah.
all right, we're gonna play bar billiards and you guys can all watch and see how it's
Yeah.
played.
We'll sit here while you set up the camera.
Oh, you do that.
My job never ends. I work so Seven doesn't have to. That's a joke. Not really, you work. I said I work so Seven doesn't have to. No, I love it. This is Seven's thing. It's been going really well here.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And I love my job too.
You guys want to learn?
Working
All
in
right.
a bar.
How do we play?
Oh,
So normally these
Seven
are in
might,
here.
we
I had
might
to
not
take
end
them
up
out 'cause
being
the kids
able
were
to play
throwing
because
them
these
around.
other guys
Yeah.
look like they're interested.
All right.
Hi, say Chosen.
And
13,
I'm live streaming right now.
Psycho-
So we were actually just going to
Psychosin.
play a
Oh,
game. I'm live
nice to
streaming
see
right
you.
now.
Oh, Psychosin.
Yeah. So you guys,
so
you can,
ask
if
how
you don't
the
mind,
floors have
you could be
been,
part of the live stream and,
holding up.
and then people
Really
can kind
well.
of see how to play it
The
because we were going
only-
to kind of
And
demonstrate.
we've been
how
getting
it's
so
played.
many
All
compliments.
right, hold on a
it.
sec.
The only issue is not going to play.
They're going to play.
Excellent.
All right.
The only
So I'm going to come over here.
issue is keeping it shiny.
You'll
so
need
Seven's
sticks
going
for
to
this.
explain how to play, and I'm going to be quiet. And we'll watch them
All right.
playing
So
bar
on the
billiards.
table, there's a mark here, mark here, and mark here. Black skittle goes here. White skittle goes here. White skittle
and
goes
then
here.
maybe I'll just work then.
All right. It's a timed game. When we pull the lever to release the balls, it'll run for about 15 minutes. When you hit the balls in the hole, they'll come back out here. After 15 minutes, the bar drops, and it won't be ejecting any more balls. You'll keep playing until the very last ball on the table, and then there's a whole different ball of wax that we do with that, and I'll show you that.
Okay, hey.
So, pull this out. That releases these down. What's going on? There they go. All right.
Does it keep score automatically?
No, you'll have to do that.
Okay.
All right. If there's no balls on the table, usually you'll put the red one here and the white one here. The only difference between these balls is that the red scores double. So the white scores 30, 20, 10, 100, 50, 200. The red double that. You keep shooting as long as you're sinking balls into the holes and earning points. If you hit the ball, hit another ball and you don't sink anything, your turn is over and any points that you've accumulated go up on the board. Okay? If you foul during your shot, you lose all the points you've accumulated for that turn. The ways to foul are not hitting another ball. If you do something and one of the balls comes back over this balk line here, that's a foul. Your turn's over, you lose whatever points you've accumulated. If you knock down the white skittle, turn's over, you've lost all the points you've accumulated. If you manage to get a ball off the table, that's it for that. And then the worst one is this one. If you knock this one down, you lose all the points you've accumulated for the entire game. So it can be a real game changer. If you're playing and all the balls end up on the table, you got a bunch of balls out on the table, all are there, you take the one closest to the ball line and you shoot that. Okay? You always shoot anywhere in the D, and we are actually playing it, I don't know what the proper rule is, as long as the ball is touching it, that's fine. That allows you to kind of sneak past this skittle and hit something right over here.
So the goal is to use this ball to hit one of the other balls,
yes,
but also put it in
and sink. Yeah.
So you have to hit another ball, and you want to get points by sinking.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
knock over the skittle.
Right.
Okay.
There's also a little strategy that we started playing too, because I was playing the other day and all the balls were on the table. I'm like, great, I'm going to clean up, right? So I'm just sinking ball after another, sinking ball. I got one in the 100. I had like 400 points, right? On top of that, I had, I don't know, only about 150 points or something like that. So that would have put me well ahead. There was a ball here, and then the other two were like here. So I'm like, I'm just going to shoot that and just touch that ball, collect my points, get them on the board. Shot, I accidentally sunk the ball. Like, okay, now I have to keep going to get my point. So I'm going to just barely tap this one over here. I sunk that one. So now I've got even more points, but I've got nothing to hit. And I ended up knocking down the skittle. And I lost my point. I lost everything. If I had shot and didn't even hit the ball, I would have lost all my points.
So how would you have ended your turn?
My first strategy, where there was a ball here, if I had just, my intention was to just touch it, to just tap it without sinking. Then that's a valid shot. My turn is over. I get to collect all the points that I had earned. Yeah, but nope, I sunk it by accident.
As long as you're sinking it, you got to keep going.
That's right. Right.
All right.
Right.
Sounds fun.
All right. So I'll hang out here while you guys get going, and
What are these numbers down here for?
those are the corresponding ball. So right. So if it lands in a 50, it'll come out the 50.
Oh, just in case
draw.
you didn't notice.
Because this was a pub game.
Okay.
Right, like what hall did that land in? we were actually playing it where we were taking all the balls out and putting them up here just so we could see where they landed in.
Right.
So you can do it that way if you want to.
Yeah. Okay.
So whoever goes first, have a shot.
First shot, then you have to hit that red ball.
You have to hit the red ball.
Okay.
Since the red ball is worth double, if it's ever down in the trough, it's a good idea to bring it up and put it on the table and play it. So on the first shot, you hit this, and let's say that you sink this one, and that one's still on the table. Then you'll take the next ball, you'll put it up here, you'll shoot at that ball. If you end up like this, and that was your shot, and you didn't sink anything, and it's your turn, then you take another ball up here, put it on the table, shoot. So that's what you're doing.
This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
You go first? Yeah, okay. So, yeah,
Okay. Yeah. And the balls are not very heavy, and you don't have to hit them very hard.
No.
All right, good. So you've got 50 points. Shoot again. Don't bother putting it up on the board yet, because half the time your points don't stick around very long.
Yeah, because you end your turn.
Yep. All right, 100 points. All right,
That's the end of
that's
your
a
turn.
valid shot. You get 100 points on the board. How this works, this would be 40 points. This would be 640 points. That'd be 3,640 points. So your player 2, you got 100 points on the board.
Okay, there we go. And then I just keep shooting.
And then now it's your turn. There is a rule that you can't take the same shot more than 3 times, I think. 100 points. So in that case where you knock that in, you knock it again, because the guys that are really good at this, they'll put a red ball there, a white ball there, they'll both sink. Red ball, white ball, both sink. Like, it's just crazy. No points for you.
So
Another obscure rule, this is sitting on the dot, right? That comes off, that goes back on the dot, this goes back in the hole.
okay.
That's kind of a weird rule, but I swear that's the last rule.
It's not that complicated.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, and then you leave it there.
It was close enough that you could do it, so.
Oh, yeah. I'm staying there now.
Oh, so close.
I have to hit a ball.
You have to hit a ball.
Oop. Sorry, didn't mean to abandon you.
Someone's gonna clean up here pretty soon.
I fell off the side.
There you go.
We need to extend this
60.
so badly. It's a perfect little setup right here.
As long as you don't
So
hit a
7,
skill.
he's got a little mirror over there. Oh no!
That's
If
it.
that were to come back here, that would be the end of his turn.
Well, it's already the end of his turn.
Yeah, but if he had
But
hit a ball,
if it goes over this line and comes back, yeah. If he had hit a ball and it came, either ball came back, yeah.
Okay. This is hard because
I don't want to have dual conversations going on, so I'm trying not to talk if someone's talking. So, yeah, sorry, I was helping someone with their
Nice.
drinks.
20. Now you've got a bunch lined up that you can sink.
Ooh.
30 says 50.
60.
10
What do you guys think of our billiards so far? I like how this little girl is watching. Oh, he lost all of his points by knocking down the little white guy.
I like it.
I was playing with a guy last night. There were, I think, 3 balls on the table, and he had no shots. So he's just like, screw it, I'm just gonna try for this. All 4 balls, right in.
I'm gonna do a little promotion here. I'm wearing one of our hoodies. You can buy your own
There you go,
Sevens
50.
Pinballorama hoodie
So that was
from Silverball Swag if you're located in Canada, or Bonfire if you're from the US. So you can buy t-shirts or baseball shirts. I think you can buy mugs. But I bought this from Bonfire because we didn't order in any
There you go. Yeah.
sweatshirts. So if you want a hoodie, they're pretty nice.
or 130, yeah.
This one is from Bonfire. I got a burgundy color. I'm just on the edge here.
Nice, 50.
Oh.
100.
I wish you could see this kid's face that's playing Mario. Every time he shoots, he goes like, or Duck Hunt.
And I'll take those points.
It's very cute.
I won't push my luck. I'll give you the luck this time. I lost all my points twice already. Oh! Any points, swear. Just don't knock that black one over.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
That's the game over one.
And it's one of those games too, like, if you don't have any points, you can be a little bit more reckless. But the minute you get like a couple hundred points, you start getting more and more careful.
You didn't sing it. Yeah, you gotta sing it.
Oh, we're coming to the end of the game now. So I'm not sure if Seven explained it, but
They're not
as you
coming all
get
the way back. There's a few that kind of.
Oh, there's one right there.
Is it?
So is this a really old game that you redid, or is it like?
There we go.
oh no, not the end of the game.
This, it's an old game. It was came out in England in the 30s.
Yeah.
30s and 40s, very popular. Started to die out in the 50s, from what I understand. This one, I didn't know anything about its vintage when I bought it. I was just like, oh my god, I gotta get this thing.
Yeah.
They didn't have the balls for it or the skills or anything. They didn't even know what they had. Come to find out, this one was made in
Seven's telling the
Canada.
story right now.
And when you open it up, the construction is fairly new. The playfield is like a newer style of MDF. So it's probably made in the last 40 years.
Hey, my little friend, do you
It's
mind
called
grabbing
Canadian
your
Bar Billiards is the
popcorn
tag.
bag that's over by Big Lebowski and throwing it in
And-
the garbage?
Well, you got the red ball in play anyway. And there's a phone number in Ontario or wherever it is.
Thank you.
And I'm joking
this
that
one
it's
right here.
probably like 2 or 3
Yeah,
British guys
thank
who are
you.
like, remember when we used to play bar billiards? Oh yeah, well, we could bring it back. Let's start making some tables, right? And they probably made like 10. And I ended up with one of them.
Where did you just found it? Like.
It was on Facebook Marketplace, and I don't even know how I stumbled on it. It just showed up, and I had never heard anything about it, so I did some research on it, and I was like, this looks like a really cool game. And it's a distant relative of pinball. So Bagatelle was a game that it was a long. We're gonna try and have one in next summer. I'm gonna build one because you can only find really really old ones, like 150-year-old. I don't want to have that in here.
Oh.
But it's basically the same kind of game, thinner playfield, 10 foot long, a circle of holes at the top, 9 holes at the top, 9 balls. And it's a process like this where you're kind of shooting at different balls, and there's rules involved. That was played in like 1700s or whatever. That slowly evolved into the table getting smaller. Then they had incline, they had pegs in it, and you would shoot up into little holes, and it turned into pinball and pachinko like that over there. And this is a direct relative of that.
Did you just get double 200? No,
That's a 10.
That's double 10.
It doesn't hurt as bad.
That's almost that'd be so hard to get.
You can also do
It is,
play
yeah.
shooting, which has 2 or 3 that you have to do.
So what are you up to now?
That's not too bad. What level are you at? 9. Ooh, they get faster and faster.
What happened? Oh, no.
This is what I did the other day, right?
Another 60 points. Then you can't keep. You don't know when to stop.
What's that?
There's this one.
Don't tell them that. Nobody was going to notice that.
Point. Oh man, that almost went in. All right, all the balls are on the table. So the next shot is you take this one and put it there.
Oh, sorry. Sorry to see you guys going. I didn't want to.
Yeah, I need to
Talk
get
while
like I'm
Seven
gonna
was
get like a little
talking.
whiteboard or something.
We were
here that
gonna,
kind of because when you go turn after turn after turn,
catch
it
up
starts
on
to
all
get
the
kind of hard to.
reset spikes.
Oh, there you go,
Have a great
150.
night. Sorry, there's double chat right now, double talking with me and Seven right now. But we'll catch up on the chat in a couple of minutes once
It may have
the
dropped.
game is finished.
be in this one.
I think there's a problem.
All right,
with
the
one
bar
of the
the
lanes.
bar is probably dropped.
Have a
Then.
great night, guys.
Let's try it.
Thanks for joining us. Oh, Outlane Pinball. Hello.
Yeah, it has. And
We
I just
go
also.
from-
All right.
I love it. Yeah. All right. I'm trying not to have double chat right now.
yes.
With Seven, because he's
Yes.
explaining
Doesn't
bar
matter.
So we'll
billiards.
take this.
Watch the bar billiards.
Well, you might. So you keep going because there's no foul. So you keep shooting.
So I got 150.
150.
Oh.
And now you have no points.
Oh.
That's fun though. I like
All right.
Let's play another game. I like it.
That's you're not done yet.
Oh, yeah.
Go.
You got to go into one.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, okay. I get you.
He's still got a chance to lose. You still have a
Yeah.
chance to win. All it takes is one little hit of the black guy.
Oh, like this?
Oh.
All right, no points. This one.
You didn't hit a ball though. You didn't hit a ball, so that doesn't count.
Well, no, it's his
Yep.
turn still because he got that one in,
I didn't
right?
hit a ball though.
Oh. Oh, how sad.
See if I can get
Double trouble.
Okay.
all three skittles down with one shot. That should be.
Then you're a super loser. I don't
No,
know.
you just win the whole
All right.
thing.
Last ball. This goes here. These go here. Now all you're doing is you're taking turns rebounding and trying to hit one of these.
Oh, okay.
And trying not to lose all of your
Not bad.
points, which you could do, and you can still win.
This is. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you basically you only have this game to lose now, Stuart.
Yeah. All right.
I get you. Now I
Ooh.
see. Okay.
Close.
Now I see why they have the pieces of wire. I
Yeah, that's right.
was wondering about the wire.
There you go. 100 points.
100 points. So
Which one were you? The top one or the bottom one?
I was the top. I mean, I'm
Okay.
Stuart's at four symphony. Yeah. That's fun.
It's a cool game, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It is cool.
It's a little daunting at first, and then you start playing it, and then you get it, and then it's just a matter of like some strategies on how to play it, and now that you know the last ball can be a real game changer. Like someone could knock that down if they needed to hit that, right? So
Didn't that happen to
Yeah.
you last night or the night before when we were playing? You knocked down the black one, and he had like 300 or 400
Yeah.
or 500 points in one round, and then
the game I was playing with the guy the other night, I had 400 or 500 points on the board, and I knocked that guy down like about 14 minutes into the game. So I had no chance to catch up at that point. Right? And so my only chance was the very, very last ball. Hopefully he would knock that down. I had no points at all. So if he knocked that down, then it was just whoever hit a hole first. Right? That was my only choice. But yeah, so play again, just pull that little thing and out they come.
I hear them.
I do too. There we go. I might have to check that mechanism.
How many did you get in there?
There's 8 balls total.
So one for every. No. So that's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
we've got a lot of chat to catch up on.
A lot of chats. So that's bar billiards. I don't know if you guys were following along, but definitely a fun
Whoa,
game.
good job.
Oh my God, I'm almost dead.
Yeah, they caught me almost falling off on here too.
I need to fix that. It's a little
Here,
Ooh.
I'll hang on to
Tighter.
you and make sure you don't fall.
tighter
Like
than
coming
usual.
close
when
to you.
when We're trying to wedge in here for a chat. All right,
All right.
let's go back up. Oh, it was movie time. People left.
Yeah. Scroll, scroll, scroll. We were talking about
Yeah, here we go.
a little higher. Because I almost fell off where it says nearly Sophia. A little higher. I didn't do any a little higher.
Are you sure?
Oh,
no.
oh,
I
you
was
did
here
do
for
Beaver
this.
Trail. Okay, so nearly Sophia is where it starts. Yeah, that's where I almost fell off on the chair.
All right. Let's see. So looks like a lot of fun, a lot of rules, and it does seem daunting at first, but once you play a game, you've got it down. Because there's really not. It's not that difficult. Spike says you should really talk to our daughter Holly. She's a beef farmer and it was all about giant walking meats.
That's from Resets. I'm still looking for a publicly traded
That's right.
company that processes bison meat.
Right, but where do I go to buy Greenland?
Perfect.
I hear they're having a sale on geothermal islands this year. I'll take Iceland.
I'm
but
not
you
sure
gotta
where
keep
that
York.
came from, but I was pimping out our sweatshirts. I was telling them they can buy them on Bonfire or Silver Ball Swag, and then this all started.
Oh, the buying Greenland?
Yeah, were you talking about?
No, that's
okay.
it's a Trump thing.
Oh.
Trump, for some reason, thinks that he can buy Greenland, and nobody really knows why. But I think it's because Putin wants it.
Did you know
Right.
that Greenland's not green? Iceland is greeny, and Greenland is full of ice.
Right.
Side note, when I was teaching in the UK, I had a student from Iceland that wanted to be a journalist, and she was really sweet. And I asked her, what do you guys do? She was talking about, I have a family, I have a brother, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, what does your brother do? And she's like, my brother's in prison. And I'm like, why is your brother in prison? And she's like, he stole a car and drove it off a cliff.
Told me about this.
And I was like, why did he do that? And she's like, there's not much to do in Greenland.
When I was in Nome, so I was in Nome for work, and I was putting a GPS antenna on a radio station tower for the company I was
The
working
Christian
for.
radio
It was a
station.
Christian radio station, and I actually found them by getting on Google Maps and driving around all 4 blocks of Nome, looking for any company that looked like they might be 24 hours or something, or have some sort of resources for us. And there were a couple of companies that I called, and these people were like, you know, in Nome, Alaska, I said, hey, you guys want to make $800 a month for doing nothing? They're like, yes. So we put the antenna there. So in Nome, Alaska, there was something that they called the White Alice, and it was Army or Navy, U.S. government, military. They're big. Well, let's see if I can find it. They're big antenna. So when you called anywhere, what?
Browser. Are you showing them the browser?
I'm trying to find a picture.
Oh, sorry.
This is a good enough picture. Ah, perfect. All right. So it was a series of antennas, and they bounce the signal off the stratosphere or whatever. And if you called up until the early 90s, maybe even, if you called anybody like in Fairbanks or whatever, you ended up going through this system because it was pre-satellite. And they do have fiber down throughout a lot of the major towns, so they're sending a lot of communications through fiber now. But after this is just the system they had in place. It worked fine. And then after satellite communications got more popular, the military decided to decommission all of these White Alice antenna sites. So they got to Nome, Alaska, and Nome, Alaska's, wait a minute, what are you guys doing? And they're like, we're going to tear all this shit down off this mountain. And they said, no, we need that. We use it for navigation. So when they're out in the sea on the ice, they look towards land, and there's a big hill there with these antennae on top of them, so they can figure out how to get home if there was any problem, or if they're out in the tundra. This is how they navigate it. So the military said, fine, we'll pull all the important bits, and we'll just leave the big antennas. So I'd heard about this, and I really wanted to see it. So I'm at this radio station, and one of the women that works there, I said, can I get up to the White Alice antenna? And she said, oh yeah, you just drive up this street and then up the hill. And she said, you have a rental car? And I said, no. It's like, how far is it? Can I walk? It's like, well, you could walk if you really wanted to, but... And she just basically throws her truck keys at me and says, here, just take our truck. I'm like, wait a minute, what? I had talked to her for all of 10 minutes, right? That's as much as I knew her. And then it occurred to me, like, she's loaning me her truck because where am I going to go? Like, I can't go anywhere. I'm in Nome, Alaska. There's no roads out of there. So I ended up driving up there. But this is what it looks like. It's very Fallout, the game Fallout, because this is on the top of the hill. All of the vegetation on the hill is all like usually covered in feet of ice and snow. And even in the nice season, it's pretty rough up there. So it's all tundra type, low brush kind of stuff. And I was up there in early spring, I think. The snow had been gone, and maybe it was later spring. I don't actually remember now. No snow on the ground, but yeah, it was pretty cool to see. I was really happy that I was able to get up there. This is, you can see the truck in the middle. That's actually probably exactly where I parked. I have pictures almost exactly like this. And you can see the curved part is the actual antenna bit, and you can see the tower in front of it. So that tower broadcasts onto the antenna and shoots off into various distance. So the tower on the right looks out over the Bering Sea, and you can see the sea in the background. And then the ones on the left go towards those point to the east. So that's the land side. Pretty cool. I felt really fortunate that I was able to go up there and do that. Hold on just a second. That's the bulk line. Some people use this line as
shoot from?
No, that's just if it goes past that line, that's your foul line. Some people use the black, some people use this bulk line.
Okay, so it's kind of the same
It doesn't,
thing.
whatever you guys want to do, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it makes it challenging sometimes shooting from the D. Because you can't, you don't have a clear shot. But you can bank it first before you hit a ball, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. I hope you're keeping track. 70. He was up at 270. He's been up to into the high 200s twice now. Knocked one of the...
It's the worst.
over. Yeah.
Right. Oh. Let's see. Okay, where were we? Pan Chicken says, "I take Bjork, but if we get her to make something resembling music again, not just noises." I haven't heard anything from her in a long time. Spike says, "Almost movie time. See you dudes and lady dudes next time, eh?" Rusa says, "Thanks for the stream, guys. Hope you all have an awesome weekend." Van Chicken says, "I mean, even though Vespertine was good." I don't know what that is. That's a Bork album? You bought something on Facebook Marketplace and it was real? What sort of tree is this? Oh God.
They heard your story when you were telling those guys about it. About picking up the table.
Oh, well, there's even more to that. So I found the table. I contacted the seller. I said, I'm really, and they didn't have a price on it. I said, do you have the balls and the Skittles? They said no. And I asked them, I broke the conversation by saying, how much are you asking for the table? And do you have the balls and Skittles? They never responded about how much they were asking for it. A little bit of back and forth, and I said, I give you $300 for it, and I could be up there on Monday or Tuesday. I forget which day I said, but we're closed on Monday or Tuesday. So I probably said Tuesday, but I probably said either. They're a 4-hour drive away in Nova Scotia, so over the bridge, and then there. So I'm looking at an extra $55 to cross the bridge, and then if it's 4 hours, then probably $100-something bucks in gas or whatever. So I didn't get a reply from them. So then next week rolls around, and I didn't get a reply from them. Like a little bit back and forth, but I can never nail them down. Like, where the hell are you guys exactly? And is $300 good? So at one point, I'm just like, I just resolved myself that I'm not going to get it. So I just sent them a message, and I said, I don't know if $300 was the price you were looking to get for it, but whatever. I'm ready to buy it when you are. Just let me know. Monday, Tuesdays work really good for me. If it's another day, let me know. I might be able to swing it. And just contact me when you're ready to sell it. And they got back to me almost right away and said, oh yeah, we're fine. If you want to come up on Tuesday, that's great. $300 is fine.
And then...
All right, fine. So I was going to go up on Tuesday. So Monday, I'm taking the van. This would fit in the van. So Monday, I'm taking the van I'm driving into town. So we live about 45 minutes, 50 minutes out of town. So I'm driving the van to town to take to our mechanic to have him work to mess with the tires. Because if it starts snowing, I want tires that are pretty good. That will help me through that. I'm driving there, battery lights on, and I'm about 15 minutes from town, and the car starts revving. And I'm just cruising along, and the car's like, all of a sudden, just the RPMs would spike up. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And I was going to have him look at the battery light, because I figured it was something with the alternator, or maybe it's the same battery we've had in there for 13 years. I figured maybe the battery's dying or something. So I figured I was going in for the tires, I might as well have a look at that. But one thing led to another, and I'm stranded on the side of the road. The car won't start. I'm calling a tow truck. The tow truck driver is like maritime guy. He's like, so you're right. I was right, like within a rock throw away from this other mechanic. And that's how I told him where I was, because no address. And he's like, so you're at a mechanic, but you want to be towed to a different mechanic, do you? Like, I was going there anyway. So that happened. We get it all taken care of. Sophia comes and picks me up. I go home. I get a message from these people that said, are you coming out tomorrow? Because we have someone who wants to come and buy it. Are you kidding me? Like, come on. I've been trying to get out there for 2 weeks straight. And so I just said, look, my van is kind of screwed up. I was going to drive out, but I could probably come out Wednesday. I could probably rent a van to get it Wednesday, but let me see what I can work out. So I look at U-Haul, and U-Haul is like, oh, it's only $20 for a van, but we're going to charge you out the ass for every kilometer you drive, right? So I did the math, and it was going to be like $500 in just mileage that they would charge me for. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. But Home Depot has vans, and they're like $40 for a few hours. I think it was $120 for 24-hour rental. They don't charge you for kilometers. You just have to put gas in it. Like, well, there you go. That's not bad. So I reserve the van. I get an email back that says, we see that you have reserved the van, but we will let you know if the van is actually reserved. So wait till you get the email that says you're actually reserved. And then a little while later, I get an email that says no reservation.
Canceled your reservation.
So I call. This is so like PEI. I call Home Depot and I said I reserved the van, but then I got a notice that said that the van I couldn't reserve the van. And he goes, yeah, you won't be able to reserve the van that day. And I said, or at that time. And I said, well, what about later in the day? Yeah, no, you won't be able to reserve the van later that day either.
Or ever.
Well, and then I'm like, well, how about tomorrow? Yeah, no, well, we probably won't have that van ready, or we won't have it again. Like, okay, so never is what you're saying. I can never rent this van. Well, that's about it, yeah. Then there's like this long pregnant pause, and it's like, you could rent the larger one, though. And how much is the larger one? Oh, it's only $20 more for the day. Like, all right, put my name on it. So I ended up going. And then it was fine. Then I got out there. I didn't know what to expect when I got out there, but they were very nice people. And the story was that it was in, I believe it was in her
Grandpa's attic.
Grandfather's attic. But then I got confused about maybe she mistook it. It was in the basement. I don't know. It was at the grandfather's house. They cleaned out the house. It didn't have the balls. It didn't have the skittles. And they have a couple of young daughters, and they thought it would be fun for them to play with, but then they never got the balls for it. They have a pool table, but the pool balls don't fit in this because these are much smaller. So yeah, and I thought it was going to be an old table, but as it turns out, it was made in Canada.
You're coming to the end of the game.
Recent. Oh, they are.
Oh.
70, 100.
What happens when that happens?
You sunk them both?
Yeah, on the last ball.
And they hit
that's it. You get all your points.
150 points. You win.
All right.
5-8. That's nice. Yeah, that worked out good. So you didn't have to do the thing.
Yeah.
I like that game.
Yeah. So that was the story.
Yeah,
I was
it's
getting at.
it's neat. Like
And
both
like I
Bumper
told
Pool
them,
and I'll take
it's
this off
made
so
in
that-
Canada by a company called Canadian Bar Billiards, and it's in Ontario. And
It used to be played in.
I joke that it's probably these two British guys in Ontario. They were like, "Remember when we used to play bar billiards? Oh yeah, we could probably make those. We could bring bar billiards back to Canada." And then they started making tables or something because it's well put together, but it's new construction. The timer works. Everything works on it, but I'm gonna guess that they probably made just a handful of them just for themselves, and maybe sold a couple of them or something. But yeah, it's cool. I'm glad that we got it. Hold on just a second. Oh, it's just guys coming in from smoking or something.
In Oxford, Ontario, there's a few billiard places. So I don't know.
Let's see. Okay.
Where they build billiards. But this one was from like
So JRSC says there's a bar billiards world championship each year at the island of Jersey, in the UK. Yeah, there's still a few leagues from what I understand. I wrote up a sheet on how to play it, and when I was looking to see if there are any like weirdo obscure rules that I need to put on this thing, there was the league that's in Yorkshire or something like that. They had a little sheet of paper on how to play it. I kind of cribbed some of the notes off of that. And I watched some YouTube videos of some of the guys that are really good at it play it, and
This is Pachinko.
Yeah, you can come
they
up
put
here.
two balls on the
Chris was telling
table
me
and they
about
sink them both in the holes like repeatedly.
When
time and
I
time
work with a
again.
guy named Chris who comes in here all the time.
Wilkinson?
Yeah. That's it. So he was telling me about this. So this was like from the late
Man Chicken
1800s.
says, yes, Vespertine was a York album. Everything after that gets different. I have to listen.
This is
I do like
This is like
interesting music.
hidden gambling in Korea.
Not interesting like Yoko Ono, Vivek the Seagull type interesting. But I like stuff like Laurie Anderson and some of the kind of more like avant-garde kind of things from time to time. I'll have to check it out. Björk was always one of those people that I like the idea of her more than the music. I think there's a couple of songs that she did that I were like, okay, this is okay. I got an album, I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, not for me. This is one of like more of a pop album kind of thing. I like the idea of her and her music more than her.
The new ones are like
I guess that's how it is. There's a few artists that I kind of like that.
And well, some of it,
Like Jackson Pollock, I don't necessarily like the art that he created, but I'm more intrigued by the process of it. There's a lot of art.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm winning.
I'm more into just how they did the art rather than the final art. Basically said, yeah, I like Lori as well. She's been consistent. I'm glad that she's been able to make a living doing what she's doing, and that she's become, because she's just been persistent about it. And over the years, she's gotten a little bit more legendary. I think it's well deserved for her. Just because she's very unique with what she's done. Right? Oh, Big Lebowski's doing it again. Hold on a second. Is that missing a ball? Alright. Let me see if I can figure out where it is. Come up with that third. Didn't. Okay. Okay.
So what are the ones that come out here?
I think those are ones at the bottom that didn't go all the way, and so you get it back. So if it doesn't go all the way through the top,
It's missing a ball. So where is it missing again? We just went through this. And it was in that scoop. Not in that scoop. So where the heck did it go? Not there.
Commit your final mortal remains to the bosom of the Pacific Ocean. Good night, sweet prince.
Right up there. Where the heck could it be? 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, they're all there.
Really good.
You had just started this game, right? All right, let's cancel the game. Did it just kick that out? I didn't hear it kick out. There it goes. All right, give it a shot. Let's see how it does.
And like the new games are like LCD monitors and stuff, and so they've got all these graphics. There was one that I saw a while ago with Jaws.
Hey, Luke. How are you? Looks, I don't know what's going on with Lebowski. It's being fidgety. Looks like essentially not spinning it back in again. So the first time when the ball was lost, it was down in the scoop. So in the subway system where you knock it down into the scoop, or you knock it into the carpet thing in the rug modes. Goes down, that kicks back out. The mount was loose for the scoop that actually goes up, and where it actually the solenoid is attached to. It's like really, really loose. And then just above that is, if I remember, there's the optical right there for it. So for some reason it didn't know the ball was there. I tightened that up, and that all seemed to work fine. This time, it didn't kick out a ball, and it actually looks like it didn't know that it drained. So this is kind of leading me to believe that possibly, at least in this case, we have.
That sound is addictive. Yeah, that right there.
Did you show them the underneath of twin rifles? It was just telling them in the mirror after they're done. Yeah. Maybe I'll show you it after. If you want to see the inside of the twin rifles where the mirror is.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about how enjoyable the.
How much more space is over here than the old spot? How much more space is in here than the old spot?
Twice.
It's twice as big?
Yeah.
Fills up fast, right?
Yeah, it does.
Still
Well,
a bunch of machines at home? Because you had a whole bunch of storage before.
Yeah, we still
This is
got-
still only a third of what we own. Yeah. And we have all back there. We'll have a workshop and everything behind that door. And then back here we have the big back area because we're gonna do coffee and espresso. So we'll have that, but we need like the sinks and everything in the kitchen area. So that's back there. Then we have this whole front area and the entryway and stuff like that. So that's a big bite out of square footage. And we will have it upstairs eventually.
Oh, really?
There is a second floor, but we're working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to get some stairs in and stuff like that, make it more proper. But that's what that boarded up archway right there. That will be the stairs that will take you upstairs. And I think we're gonna put like the darts up there, and maybe one of the billiards up there or something. And we're gonna call it the VIP lounge. Anybody can go up there, but it'll be fun for kids. Because we're gonna make like little lanyard passes that they can get, right? And like before they go up, it's like, oh, I gotta see your pass. Like and to get the pass, we'll make them do like some monkey dance thing, right? Like you have to beat me at this game, or you gotta tell me a joke. But we'll come up with each kid, depending on who they are, like we'll come up with something funny.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a lot of fun.
And above the light panel up there, that's going to be like a little bar top.
Okay.
So you'll be able to sit there, bar, look down at people. It'll be kind of fun. And then in the summer, we have this bay door we'll be able to open.
Okay. Okay.
Which
I'd
will
like
be
to
great.
build a little patio on the back, so that like that would be the hope, is to build a raised patio so that you can go and just
Go and
sit,
hang out or something.
sit out there or what have you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that in the summer. And we have to figure out if we don't build something outside of the bay, then we'll have to have something when you lift up the door. There's something so that because it's a 4-foot drop. I was just thinking like chain link fence or something, just a little 4-foot tall chain link fence. It's lightweight. You can strap it in, easy to remove, and you can see through it. So people driving by will be able to look in and see all the lights and machines and stuff, which I think is good.
Yeah, especially on
Advertising.
This is the road, is it? The main,
Yeah.
main road.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people that have come, like, driven by, seen that it says arcade, and then they come in, they're like, we saw a sign, we're like, is that really an arcade? And then they come in and like they're just amazed, and so
Yeah.
it's worked out really well. Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome.
good. We want to add some more lights to the around the lettering so that it's bright flashing arcade.
Yeah, it's
Some
really cool.
twin rifles.
Oh yeah, I'll show you
It's a
the
lot of
rifle.
The inside. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your lovely chat with Seven.
Same one that you said the old
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
so
it's
you're-
10:36
this is a sheet of
already.
glass
I'm closed
right
in
here.
24 minutes.
So you're looking
Um,
at a mirror.
we were just
no, it's glass.
I was chatting
Yeah.
with them
You can
about
see through it.
electromechanical games and
so, but it's dark back there.
pachinko,
So
and
you're
I thought it
looking
would
at
be
the
really
reflection
nice
down
if,
inside the machine,
Seven showed them the inside of one of the twin rifles,
which is all down there. So the
you
targets
can
come
see
out
him
sideways
lifting it up
like
there.
this.
If you don't know, twin rifles
And then
is
why it's glass? 'cause
like
it's the
Space
Pepper's Ghost
Invaders.
Illusion
Space Invaders
is
has the
behind
mirrored
this, in the
effect,
very bottom,
so that you can
is the
have
duck
that
target.
background
And
that's
they're
black,
ducks and they spin around.
blacklit? UV
That
light, whatever you
rotates,
want to
does
say,
it?
so that
Yeah,
it's
they're,
got all
they're
of
in the
the
back
UV
and they
reactive
spin
lights and
around
stuff.
this way, but it's way in the back.
So it's
there.
actually a mirror in
So
the
when the
TV
duck
is
targets are
the
active,
CRT monitors down there, so it's reflecting
they
up.
start
it's actually
spinning around and
reversed.
you can see them through the glass and they look like they're in the
Twin
they're up in
rifles
the
is the
sky.
same. So underneath
And
where the rifles
they
are,
spin
where
around
they lift up,
and
that's where the mirror in the shooting
there's a
gallery
mirror
is.
behind the glass,
And then the birds
that comes
are
down so that
somewhere
you can
else
see
as
their
well.
reflection down below. And
Oh,
then
wait, is
when
it
you
down
shoot
there?
one, the mirror does this, which
No,
makes
it
it
might
look
be
like
in
the
the
duck
back of the
stick a
machine.
dive bomb
Anyways,
into the
there's a
ground.
mirror. I'm
Yeah.
miss.
And
Well,
unfortunately,
Tenable, I can't.
But there's a mirror in there, so it's actually reflected backwards when you open up the
the
front and
motor
the back
that
and the
moves
inside.
the mirror,
And,
there's a gear that
and
is
so
on
it's just
it's a
telling me
brass
about
gear
that.
on a stainless steel shaft,
And so
and
Seven's
it's
showing
slipping.
Showing that.
So when it's time to move
Party,
the mirror,
Starboy Ranger says the party
it
is
slips
at
and it can't
Pinball-
lift the mirror
is
up.
at
It's too
Pinball
heavy.
Ornament. Yes,
So I need to
it
get that
is.
fixed. I just haven't had to. How it aims is really cool. So each target,
Is
when
it
it becomes
Dungeons?
active,
So I'm
it
going back up
corresponds
because
to
I
one of
missed
these
some of
dots
this chat.
here.
Outline Pinball says
Okay.
it's Happy
And
Dungeons
as
and
you move the
Dragons
gun,
Day. Is it
this
really?
is your
I should
contact
maybe
wiper.
say that
And
to
as
my
you move the
friends.
gun,
Happy
if
Dungeons
you're
and Dragons
over
Day.
the
I wonder
active
if we could
target
post a
and you pull the
Dungeons and
trigger,
Dragons
that
Day
completes
here.
the
I don't know
circuit,
if it
and
would
that's
go
how it
over
knows that
well
you hit
'cause
the
there's all
target.
these other things going on.
And then
But we
the
would
little
love to
force
host
feedback
more
that you
events
get from it when you fire,
here.
it's basically it's a flipper
The other
mechanism.
place
It's
that
this
has
solenoid,
pinball does like
and
a
it fires
drag
back
show, and
that.
I was trying to figure out how we could do like a drag show.
I don't think I tried it before, so we should.
Fun.
I want to try it.
But other like
Yeah,
music
yeah.
nights
Yeah, it's just
or
when
bringing rock
you'll get
band
to a
for
point where
night
it doesn't
and
seem like
project
there's
it onto the
anything to
back
shoot at, and
door.
that's the
Wii Sports
bird
are getting
target.
really popular. So
Yeah, you
we
start a
can
two-player
bring
game
Wii
like this.
Sports and do the same thing.
It's a
Project it
timed
onto the
game,
back
so
door.
when you start shooting, the timer
We got
starts.
Man Chicken
You
in
just
here.
aim at the stuff and shoot it.
And then I see that there's a bar billiards world championship each year on the island of Jersey in the UK. We might have to go there. That sounds fun. Hello.
Hi.
Who's just catching up with people. I can't move. See? It's awkward. I have to lean over so far. Here, I'll turn my chair sideways. Turn myself sideways, and then you
I
can
should-
come closer.
I should have this done by next time we stream. It should be moved around.
But it's not, I mean, it's good. We're making progress. We'll get the sink put in over here for the espresso bar and get the electrical in. And then we can bring in the espresso. We will move that big piece of glass out. We at the old place, we had a barrier in one area, a piece of glass, so that people couldn't like reach over towards the till. And Seven was having a hell of a time getting it off.
Oh, God.
And so, like, the week that we moved, it was like one of the last things he was trying to get out. And so I gave him some rubbing alcohol and my hair dryer because we couldn't find the heat gun. And he was trying to get the glue to soften up, and he probably softened it a little bit.
Maybe.
And
Yeah,
then-
it's a big piece of tempered glass.
Like really thick.
It's like a half an inch thick, and it's I think 4 feet by 3 feet, and so it's sitting in a metal channel, and there's a channel that was basically an L shape. So there was one on the wall, and there was one that it sat in.
It's like
at the
a
bottom.
1 inch deep channel.
So you could normally, if it's like a shower or something like that, you would put a bead of caulking in there, and you'd pop the glass in, and that would seal it all in. Well, I didn't want to seal it in 100% permanently, so I just took a couple of pieces of just some double-sided tape, put them in the channel, dropped the thing in there, and held it secure
Like
enough.
heavy-duty double-sided tape, though.
And we had it in another location, and when it came time to move it, I just grabbed it at the top and kind of peeled it out, and it just arced like that, and it just kind of came out. On this one, I couldn't get it to budge.
And he tried all week until the very last day.
And I had already resolved myself that I was just going to end up leaving it. If I couldn't get it, I would just leave it. Or maybe I would just pop the glass and just break it and then clean it up, just so she couldn't have this big sheet of glass. It was expensive. It was like $350, maybe more.
But I kept telling him, keep trying, keep trying.
Yeah, so when I got there on the final day that I was there and I was cleaning up and doing the final bits, when I got in there, I just hosed it down with rubbing alcohol and then tried, didn't work. So I hosed it down again with rubbing alcohol, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then I was like, oh, I wonder if this will work. So I went and I hosed it down again with rubbing alcohol and then gave it a yank, and it just came right out. So it was just enough to get it, so we got it.
It's right here.
I think I left the channel there. I didn't take the channel down. I think I
No.
forgot about it. But the channel was cheap. I could get it from the glass
So
store.
we're gonna put that up behind the espresso machine, and then back here, the sinks are essentially all in place. Seven's just got to attach all of the hoses, and it's in a much easier position to do than in the last place. The last place, Seven had to build everything out himself and move all of the plumbing around. So, but that was pre-done. So those are ready to go, and they won't be used that much. You're just required to have 3 sinks. Like you need 1 hand washing sink and then at least 2 dedicated cleaning sinks. And they have to be deep enough that all of your dishes can be submerged in a disinfectant.
Yeah.
But it's fine. So we'll get those set up. Seven put the shelves up, so we're gonna move some things around, and then we'll
get the paint. We'll get a paint that we want to use back here. We'll get the paint sprayer out. We'll hose it all down.
yeah.
Spray everything down. Like
I think you
we
do a
put up some
white or a
shelves
gray.
already. So we'll paint the shelves and everything.
Yeah,
And
we'll
then
do
I need to get there's a fiberglass. It's a 4x8 sheet of this fiberglass backing board that you use kind of like a backsplash in professional kitchens.
Yeah.
So we're just you just glue it to the wall.
Yeah.
So that'll go behind the.
Yeah.
We didn't even finish the drywall behind there. We didn't mud it
Because it's gonna be covered.
because it's gonna be covered.
And then we've got our freeze dryer, and so we'll be doing freeze dried stuff, and we'll add another shelf here or there. But yeah, so this back room, the espresso will be done in the next month, and then we just need to pass our what do you call it?
It's just this
Our food certificate
food certification
approval
or whatever
thing.
Yeah. Which should be fine.
Yeah. And so then that slowly will move stuff out of the workshop. And another thing we need to do is we've got to put up our lava lamp lights. Oh, we've got 2 signs that say espresso. We bought these years ago. And long story short, we couldn't fit both of them in our car at the time, so we strapped one to the roof. And we were driving home, and Seven was so nervous because he was afraid.
There was more than that, because we were in Vancouver at the time, and we went down to near Tacoma, and there was a guy who was selling loose neon, like, I don't know, 150 letters of just loose neon, and he had transformers and everything. So, and then I found these other 2 signs and they were like, I don't know, I think they were 2.5 feet or 3 feet by 5 feet or something like that. I visualized that we'd be able to get some of this into the back of the CRV. So the loose neon letters themselves basically filled up the entire back of the CRV. And we stopped and we got some bubble wrap. He just had them lay down in his garage, and we just picked up these tubes and put them in the back of the thing. But as we're driving, they're all going ping, 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 ping. And any little bump, I expected like they would all explode at once. So we stopped and got bubble wrap. We packed around it all, the whole thing. And so I'm already nervous from that. Then we went and we picked up these neon signs, and we saw the boxes, and it's like, holy shit, we can't even, we could barely fit one on top of the car. So we strapped it up on top of the car. And I'm driving, and I'm nervous as fuck, and I'm just like, oh my god, I've got this neon in the back, it's gonna explode, and then this big box is gonna give, and it's gonna go flying off. And at one point, I just like gave up. I gave up worrying. I'm just like, if shit's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I can't stop it. We've done everything we can. It'll be fine. And yeah, so we drove back home. We got to the border, and the woman at the border was like, do you have anything to declare? And I said, well, we bought a bunch of neon. So we have this neon on the roof, and we've got a whole bunch of loose neon in the back. And she like gives us this look. She's like, all right, pull over. I think because she just wanted to see what the hell we were talking about, like what was in the car. And yeah, and they basically, but there's no problem.
Yeah. So anyways, the plan is we got stuff to move out of the workshop, and we'll put the lava lamps up, and then another thing that we want to bring in is the espresso neon signs that we have, and one of them is going to go up right above the espresso bar, and then the other one's going to go on the other side, so that when you look in the window, you'll see that it says espresso. So we'll have neon on each side. And so anyways, the plan is, as we get this all done, it'll slowly clear out the workshop, and then Seven will be able to finish setting things up, and we'll have more storage properly sorted out that was one of the issues we had in the other space too, is all of our drinks were shoved under the machines, all of our extra drinks, but now we've got a couple racks, and we've been trying not to overbuy unless we find a really, really good deal.
Once we get upstairs all sorted, then
yeah,
we'll be able to keep it all.
Exactly.
We have to build stairs to go upstairs, and then right behind us, right up above us, there's a whole bunch of space up there that we'll be able to put shelving, and we're gonna have, on one side, we're gonna have our office, and then around the office will be all of this extra storage for product and stuff. It'll be really nice.
So, JRC's asked if we've seen the new Squid Games 2 yet on Netflix. We've seen that it's on Netflix, but we haven't watched it. And then he says IPA is great for dissolving glue and sticky labels. IPA like beer. And nothing is as great as real neon lighting. Love it. Yeah, we unfortunately, did we sell it or did we leave it?
What?
The neon individuals.
The loose letters I ended up getting rid of. Yeah, we didn't bring that up.
Yeah.
There was too much of it. I laid it. We got home. I laid it all out in the front yard and driveway, and took inventory of what letters we had, what colors they were, I had, they were all from big signs. Most of the letters were about 18 by 2 foot sized. And
There were some smaller ones.
there were a few smaller ones.
they
There were
were
a few
all
bigger
18 by
ones, and then there were just some weird neon shapes that probably just were borders around whatever signs they came out of. Most of them were red or white, and I fired some up with the transformers, and they all seemed to work. They all seemed fine. We broke a couple coming up, but I took inventory of all the letters, and then I bunched them together by letter type. So all the O's were together, all the M's were together, whatever. And I was going to do something with them, and then when it came time to move, I looked at all this stuff, and I'm like, how the hell am I even going to pack this? Like, it's going to take up so much space because we're throwing everything in shipping containers, so space is out.
And then we ended up getting rid of a ton of stuff like the couple days before we moved too. We just couldn't fit everything in, let alone the neon. JRSC says IPA stands for isopropyl alcohol.
Oh,
Haha. JRSC, I just like to drink the stuff. Neon. Or IPA. It has like the hoppy taste. And JRC's, yes, 99% pure. Ooh. I don't know if I would ever drink that.
isopropyl alcohol would burn like crazy going down.
Right?
And then you go blind, and your liver would stop working, or whatever
Ooh.
happens.
Good old moonshine. It is almost time for us to
It's 10:52.
close. Yeah.
Wow, late.
We've gotta go home and eat food. I'm hungry.
Yeah. We're gonna have to
Well,
close here in a
thanks
minute.
for joining us. I think everybody had a really good time today. It was a pretty busy day. I think tomorrow will probably be busy. It's the last day of or no, it's not the last day.
No, tomorrow's Saturday.
Sunday is the last day of winter break, and then kids go back to school on Monday. So we'll probably slow down a little bit on Monday. Oh, he's got it.
And we might be leaving here early on Sunday because they're expecting a snowstorm.
Oh.
Starting Sunday, ending Monday. 5 to 15 centimeters.
Well,
We were going to be open till 8 on Sunday, but we might be closing early, so
yeah, that's fine.
nobody's going to be coming in.
Nearly 3 a.m. here, lol. Late night. Where are you again, JRC? You're in Ireland, is it? Or Scotland? You're 5 hours ahead. No. Are you in Germany? Because it's 4 hours ahead, I think, to the UK. So if it's 3 a.m. Okay, yeah. Luke is in Denmark, and JRSC is somewhere in the UK, right? Yeah, we stay up pretty late too. We're night owls as well.
Yeah,
so
I'll probably be up 3 or 4 a.m. tonight.
moving.
We designed our. I designed my lifestyle around that. That's why we don't open until noon.
Well, it's funny because Seven always used to struggle with getting up in the morning, and he even bought one of those alarms for deaf people that vibrate because
It's a little puck, and you put it underneath your pillow.
and it vibrates, and so even that couldn't wake him up sometimes, and he would end up going to bed so late. So sometimes he'd only end up getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep because he'd be up so late. And on a good night, he'd maybe get 6 hours because he had to get up by 7. So if he was lucky, he'd go to bed at 1 a.m. and get up at 7. But now we're in here, and so his natural rhythm isn't as disturbed because he can stay up until 2 or 3 or 4 and then gets up at 10. So then he usually gets about 6 hours of sleep, which is what he needs to run on at least.
That's more than I used to get.
Yeah, so it's been a good transition. I try and get up a little bit earlier and, get things ready and stuff. And Seven can sleep in. The Netherlands. I was like, it's the Netherlands. And then it was like, no, it's Denmark. So anyways, all right. Well, you guys have a great morning,
Yep,
day
morning.
tomorrow. And thanks everybody for joining us. And we'll see you next week.
See you next time.
3, 2, 1, bye.